Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing this morning? Spilled Paintbot, Raven's Beard, Dundersnuff, welcome in. So, Paintbot's been a while, man. How you been? I heard you were teaching some new edition of Malifaux this past weekend. How did that go? Welcome in, guys. Welcome. We are going to get started as soon as I get a drink of water. All right. Hello there. Welcome in. Okay. So we're going to paint some League's Votann today. Might do a little bit of extra things as well. But I have some minis assembled here. It's like Power Rangers at this point with all the different colors. But we got the little frog El Camino truck that I'm not showing you guys because I don't have my camera up. Okay, there we go. All right, we got this little guy. We'll work on. We have Burry Agneson, whatever his name is. Is that what his name? Yeah. So got that. We have this is a Mimnir strategist. Had to go with a red leather cloak there. Red cloak. I probably should have done that brown. It looks like they made it brown on the thing, but that's okay. And then we got this guy, the evaluator. He's gonna evaluate all the things. So that's what we have to paint. We're working on these this week. I do have some more Votann minis, but they're out of stock, so they're just waiting for the store to get them. But all that said, welcome in. You got 5th in the tournament yesterday. We knock off the hobby rust. Yeah. Well, good. Glad you're back at it. Hey, we all need a break sometimes. I get it. I definitely get it. All right. We're going to get some bone. I don't think we're going to paint these all at once. I might not fully commit to the assembly line painting, but we'll see. Characters aren't meant to be painted in an assembly line, right? What is it you do here? Yeah. That's my job. What are you talking about? What's up, Mydro? Welcome in. No problem if you're gonna lurk. Problem at all. Let's get started here. So some of you guys were in stream last night, and I was assembling Saturnine Terminators, and I was using some 3D prints for some different pieces, kind of like an upgrade set for my plastics, and they said they were plastic compatible. They were not plastic compatible. I ended up finding the creator of the STLs, and I was messaging with him, and unfortunately the file that I was using kind of got nuked off of Cults. Fortunately, he has been updating it, and he sent me the files that I needed to make plastic compatible pieces with his most recent update. So they look perfect. The print, I think, is either just finishing or finishes within like the next 5 minutes. So I started that print this morning and should be able to keep moving on those Terminators next time I get around to them. So pretty happy about that. If you weren't here wondering, they're chest plates, heads, and like cowls that are Thousand Suns themed. My Saturnine Terminators, so I don't have to put the crazy like eagle on their chest. I put the Saturnines or Thousand Sun symbols on it. My voice is still off today, unfortunately, so I'm hoping, trying to take care of my voice and everything, but I am hoping that it's feeling better tomorrow. Yeah, so yeah, I did a learning day at a local store near me. It's actually pretty far from me as far as local stores go, but I really like this store, and me and another gentleman decided to do a Horus Heresy Third Edition like learning day to teach people, like try to get people interested in the game, but also like teach people the basics of the rules and stuff. So I was trying to hype it up, trying to get people locally to come in, even if they already knew how to play or they already had armies. Also, I'm to show up and just play a game, just so people can see what games look like and everything, and get people interested. So they're not just looking at these little like 500 point armies that I put together. So yeah, when going into it, um, I was kind of thinking like, man, if we have like a new person come in to learn the game, I'm gonna be happy. Like, just give me like one new person. Sounds on to me. No problems hearing you. Okay. Is there someone complaining? I'm not seeing anybody doing that. But anyway, um, I didn't expect a big turnout. Uh, just because like it's not like 40K, and it's, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there might be some things that kind of hold it back. I know there's a lot of drama with the edition. Oh, okay. Thanks, Cultured. Um, Cody, welcome in. So yeah, we showed up, and like right at noon, a bunch of people showed up, which is kind of like our time frame for starting everything. Um, we had 3 tables set up for people to play learning games, and the idea was we had references and stuff, and we would, if 2 people wanted to face off against each other, um, we would kind of guide them through the rules and everything. But there was a guy that showed up and was interested in playing, so I was playing him, and then we had another guy show up, and our other kind of the other guy that was with me that was teaching people was playing through a game with him. And then we had 2 more people show up that were both interested, that had minis but had never played and were interested in playing, so they played against each other, and another person in our group kind of stepped in to help them play. I finished a game with the first guy, and he seemed like he had a lot of fun. He was saying he had a lot of fun with it and really enjoyed it, coming from 40K and everything. And he was like, he's like, I'm gonna go see what the store has. Gonna go browse around, see if they got anything good that I want. I was like, cool, that's cool. And he left, and then I immediately started a game with another person. And before I started that game, there were other people that finished their game, were like, yeah, we're gonna go look around and browse and see what they got. And then the other person that was playing a game was like, man, I just want to like see what they have. Like, this is a lot of fun. So it seemed like people were enjoying it. It seemed like we might have a couple new people in the game and everything. I ended up playing two games. One was against someone who I'd never met. The other person I knew and had played in 2nd edition, but had not yet played 3rd edition yet. So they were wanting to learn the new rules. So took them through the rules. You want me to tell you about the drama this morning? Okay, hold on. Let me see if there's. Okay. Yeah. Let's. I'll get there in a minute, Zen. We're gonna talk about some more Discord drama, so it'll be fun. This wasn't quite as exciting yet as the others, but we'll see. Yeah. Overall, I think it was a big success. Zen came and hung out with us, so that was fun. Got to chill with him for a bit and chat and everything while I was trying to like rush through a game to get home in a decent time. But yeah, it was good. It was really good. I had a lot of fun. I learned some things about the rules, and yeah, people seemed really pumped about it. So We can have a local Discord, so we got people joining that Discord. Yeah, so it was a fun time. Yeah, I hope I get to keep playing more, because the game's fun, and I want that Fell Blade. That's what I need. I need the Fell Blade. Okay, so Discord drama. I don't know if you guys if you remember me telling you guys about a local store in my area that has a buy sell trade page, and there was drama a couple weeks ago. So a few weeks ago, there was a guy who is constantly spamming things for sale, and will post a multitude of reasons why he's selling all of these things. And I don't doubt that he has these things. Like, it's kind of a weird thing, but he just always has tons of minis to sell, and it's just always posting different lots for sale. And he's talking about stuff like, help a retired veteran, pay some bills, and then it's, my wife has cancer and then was in a car accident, and then I had a heart attack and we need help paying bills, and it's, my daughter wants her first car, so help me pay bills. And he keeps doing, no, this is not in my Discord. No, absolutely not. I would shut this down real quick. So he keeps posting things for sale. Well, a few weeks ago, somebody else in that Discord basically replied to one of these person's posts and was like, hey, this person's a scammer, and also they cheat at Warhammer, but they're also scamming people and not sending packages when people order them. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't scam people. And he's like, yeah, he's like, you're a cheater at Warhammer, and also you've been banned from Discords because you scam people. And so the mods, they're like store employees, and they're like, hey, can you please DM me like details, like you got like evidence that he's scamming people, and like, we can resolve this in DMs. Well, these two dudes go back and forth for 7 hours in a store buy sell trade Discord channel. The one guy's calling the other guy a cheater, and the other guy's like, nah, I'm not a cheater. And this guy's like, well, yeah, you're banned from tournaments at this store, and also you cheated when we played Warhammer, but then also you stole a set from this other store. And the guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't steal things, and also you cheated at Warhammer, and I saw you cheating when we played last. And it just 7 hours it went back and forth. This was happening during a Patreon hangout that I was having on a Wednesday night, and we were reading the messages live and like having a really good laugh about it, because it was just so ridiculous. Just two guys going back and forth about it was very much like, just nuh-uh. And the guy's like, I'm not banned from the Discord. He's like, yes you are. He's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, yes you are. He's like, you cheat at Warhammer. And he's like, nuh-uh. And they just kept doing that. So we were all kind of having a good laugh about it, because it's ridiculous. Like, it's just absurd. And the fact the guy just led with like he's a cheater in the buy sell trade group, and then also he's he's scamming people. And what's funny too is one of the guys, the accuser, the original accuser, his like display name on Discord is Spicy Wiener. So it's just like Spicy Wiener and then like flames of something. Just like arguing back and forth. Like it was wild. So eventually the accuser gets banned from the store Discord after your father smelt of elderberries. After like 7 hours, one of the mods in the Discord is like, hey, sorry everybody, I was away doing something. And then he deleted the conversation. And after a while, I think the accuser was banned from the Discord server. So Spicy Wiener was banned from the local store Discord. So I'm like, oh, okay. He was just sad that he lost a game of Warhammer, apparently. That's pretty crazy. It got too spicy for the Spicy Wiener. It did. So this morning, I'm just browsing some Discords, and I go to this buy sell trade page, and I see this dude, the original accused, had changed his name, his like Discord username, probably because he kept getting flamed by people calling him a cheater and or a scammer. I don't know. But he changed his name, but he still keeps posting this nonsense. Oh, my daughter needs a new truck, so I have these, 300 minis to sell, and just all this weird stuff. Did I decide Terror Squad 3 Flamer, 3 Melee, 3 Bolters? Maybe? That sounds appropriate. Sounds about right. So anyway, this guy is posting. He keeps like just spamming like twice a day. He's putting huge lots of minis for sale on here. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, bolters are good. Yep. And somebody posts a reply, and they said, hold on, because it's still up, isn't it? They replied to him and said, let me know when you send the stuff I paid you for 3 weeks ago. Still waiting. And this is a different person that said that. And then people were like, someone's like, he sends a different message explaining why he's selling something every few days. I just assumed he was a scammer from the start. Yeah. And then someone added the mods, the people modding the server, yeah, appropriately. And then some people replied, and they said he did send me the stuff that we paid for, so he delivered on that. Someone else says he got me the stuff I paid for and delivered on that. Someone else says he's been removed from other servers for what he's done. It's just alt accounts from him. Yeah, it's fair. I don't recognize. No, I recognize one of the guys' screen names that's saying there. So, and then the dude, this guy might have been removed. Yeah, he kept replying to all these responses. I screenshotted it though, guys. I did my homework. You're welcome, everybody. All right. So he said, I'm not a scammer. My wife had surgery. Every new thing that comes up in my life, I put why I'm selling because people continue to ask me why I'm selling. Let me explain something to you guys. If you're selling things secondhand, nobody cares why. In all honesty, it's just better to say you're selling stuff. It sounds less like a scam when you sell stuff and you just post the things you're selling. That's it. Like, just say, hey, I'm selling these. Here's my prices. Open for negotiation. That's it. You don't need to tell people your life story, and it gets weird when you do. All right. That aside, he asked someone. He's like, well, what other servers have I been removed from? And he says, I'm still on here, and this one, and this one, and this one. And he says, and people that got their items and anything. So the person that said that they were banned from servers took a screenshot of mutual servers that they have together and said, hey, look, I'm on these servers and you're not. You've been banned from these servers. And I was like, ooh, he got him. Yeah. And he's I could show you 100 packages I delivered. And then he just starts like replying to people like, look, this one and this one and this one. I've replied on this. What is this? There's a couple. He took down a lot of his messages, or other people took down his messages. I'm not sure. They took down like 20 or so messages. Oh, and he said the guy that's been 3 weeks he didn't get his stuff. He says I made it a sign, like he had to sign for it, and he never signed for it. Um, yeah, and people were just like, "Oh, like this again? Like seriously?" Yeah. So the guy shared DMs between the two of them. If he's local, yeah, why ship stuff? Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it's weird to me. Like meet at a store. That's what this is for. Um, and the guy shared a screenshot. This seller shared a screenshot of the conversation. It's like, look, you knew that it was supposed to be signed for, and here's our conversation where you agreed to that and you said it was a good idea. And the guy's like, well, I have the rest of the conversation that I can share if anyone's interested. Like no one cares. But also, the guy never posted that into the conversation, which I'm sad about. The seller ended up removing a lot of his comments, which was too bad, even though I sent screenshots. I did not care enough. No, no. Yeah, it is the second time he's been called out. However, the person that called him out this time might be one of the like original two that called him out, because when the original guy accused that seller, there was one other guy that piped in. He's like, I bought stuff weeks ago, he never sent it. And the guy's like, you didn't sign for it, and all these things. So maybe that's just the same guy, and he still hasn't gotten his stuff, which is a thing, whatever. But yeah, just crazy.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank.
Hey, Q Vinet, welcome. Welcome in. And Fung, welcome in. Good morning to you on YouTube. I hope you're doing really well. Yeah, it's another nerd fight. Yeah, it continued, Blue. It continued back in the Discord server, the local store Discord, and I took screenshots of the conversation. Not quite as exciting as the last time, but it is the same person involved. Not Spicy Wiener, but the other one. And yeah, he's being called a scammer again. Lurker might paint Black Templars. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I'm painting some of these new Votann minis here. Put some base colors on a couple of them. We'll kind of see where we go from here. Yeah, new Terminators today. We can talk about that in a little bit if you guys want. There's a new movie trailer out. A movie trailer for Mandalorian and the Grogu. No, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Movie comes out next year. I'm gonna be real honest, guys. That trailer looks very like mid. Like I am whelmed by it, and I am not like too excited. I'm sure I'll go see it, but I'm not very excited about it. How often do you have to be called out before Discord mods ban you and not the accusers? Yeah. To be fair, the accuser, the original accuser, sounded like he needed to be banned. As someone with no stake in this, just like tearing into someone in a buy-sell trade group about being a cheater at Warhammer, that's not the place. So yeah, like I don't want it to be a thing where just because people are ganging up on someone they get banned. You know, like if people aren't getting stuff sent to them and they have proof and it's an issue, like you resolve it like an adult, right? You get a refund on your stuff, and if they don't, like then it becomes an issue. Yeah. Yeah, and Zen, you're right. I feel like when you start posting that, like, oh, I have medical bills that need to be paid, like, this week, or I lose my house, like, people are going to take advantage of that, and they're going to get stuff real cheap off of you. Like, if you want to sell things for a good price, like, don't put the reason you're selling on there. No, the mods are not doing their jobs. No. And they don't have the excuse of it being, like, late at night either. It's 11:30 in the morning. cheap you sell them if you really have nothing to sell. That's true. Well, it sounds like, provided the dude isn't like ultimate scamming, running alternate accounts or whatever. But like I said, I recognize one of the names that said he sent them things. So, it sounds like he's sending some people things. I do feel like if he's not scamming and it's taking him forever to ship things, I feel like if people are paying for things, you need to make it a priority to get those out. That is just like some of the most basic, like, courtesy, professionalism kind of things, where that's not something people pay for and you sit on for a month. Doctor's office to sign a letter. Is going to be a fight. Oh no. Well, hopefully it's good. Did your work say it was okay? They just need the doctor to sign off or something? Is that... Printer's back to normal. Printed 2 boxes. Hold 1,000 cards each. That's solid. That is solid. I had a print running overnight and it failed on me, so I ran another one this morning with some different stuff, and hopefully that worked out, because that lets me redo my Saturnine. Not redo, but it's got the proper upgrade pieces for my Saturnine Terminators. Doctor to fill out a form and sign it. Okay, okay. Well, good luck. Good luck with that. On this weapon. Just primed these this morning. Normally try to wait a day before I actually start brushing paint on minis, but I've had things to do this weekend and able to get to these this morning. Moderator boot camp? Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, the mods, Blue, the mods for the server are just store employees. So, I mean, I know they're not busy through the day. Like, what hobby store at 11:30 in the morning on a Monday is busy, But it's not like they're looking to hire. I doubt they're looking to hire actual mods or something. Okay, I think that's it. Basing on this mini. You know what? I got the paint. Let's just go ahead and put it on this mini. Berserk? Okay. Capricus Defender. Capricus. You think the store clerk would be the mod? Yeah. I mean, they are. Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the problem. Session from work and chatting with 2 people about their tickets. I can moderate a Discord channel. Yeah. Yep. Imagine be a professional Discord mod. Yeah, that is a thing. Imagine. I don't think I'd ever want that title. No, that sounds horrible. Yeah. Butterscorch, welcome in. Yes, these are new Votann. This is the Capricus. What is it? Defender or Carrier or something. And then I have a couple characters. So, it's the commission. I'm going to work on this week. I'm trying to finish all this stuff this week. And then I'm going to get some other things prepped in the background. Next paint project. I do have 40k Emperor's Children on the way. So I'll be painting some 40k Emperor's Children. If that sounds interesting to you guys, because it certainly does to me, so... Yeah. Emperor's Children. They're going to be pink and black, so they're going studio color scheme. Boomer lock. What? Yeah, your boomer caps lock. That's great. What's going on, Estrello? How are you doing? Combi Volkite Vets. That's cool. That's very cool. Strip and restart my Hecaton. I didn't do base coat silver. I did blue. Yeah. I understand blue. I think it's still faster if you work through it and you just paint the silver underneath. But either way, there's going to be misery in painting that many. You're going to be painting a ton of blue or a ton of silver with a brush. So whether you want to strip it now or just suffer through, that's your dilemma, right? Keep assembling. Yeah. You want a couple power axes then? I think the ones I printed you were didn't turn out great. Squad of Thalax. Oh, cool. Heresy Dark Mech. I love it. Love it. Necron weapons. Yeah, Necron weapons. 40k ad mech. A dude in my local group was using Night Haunt minis from Age of Sigmar in his Mechanicum. You're not running them in this. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think power axes are good. They're decent at cracking 2+ armor saves, but I don't think 2+ armor saves are as big a deal this edition. You still need a way to deal with it, because you can still bring a lot of Terminators, and that's still going to be a thing, but I don't think it'll be that big a deal to make sure every unit has some kind of AP2. Your chain blades are good for that. Well, I don't think they have breaching, but they're AP3, and they give you extra strength too, which is nice. So, especially with multi-damage weapons, it's not as important to be hitting that AP2, because if you have a damage 2 weapon and you're making someone take a bunch of 2-up saves, you're gonna kill Terminators really fast. Definitely do a second coat of this bone color. Play Blood Bowl. My team's painted, but you got your new mini, right? Didn't you buy some new minis? That was your goal with painting that at this point. Yeah, conversion beamer's good. Yeah, I have a conversion beamer. I have not painted it yet. I have one for my Dreadnought, for my Contemptor. Really good. Leicester gives a squad rerolls and all wound rolls. Terminus can sticky objectives. Yeah, I think it's like the new first company detachment, and yes, it's good from what everything I've read and seen. Yeah. Corn Corrupted Thalax Chain Bayonet. That's awesome. Yeah. That's the fun thing about Dark Mech. 30K is such a great game for kit bashing and customizing everything. It is just an incredible game for that. Okay. Basically, no, we need to get all underneath all these. Turned off, so they're constantly screaming into battle. Yeah, there you go. Be able to buy. I'm not allowed to build the line until Gilliman is painted. Yeah. Gilliman takes a long time to paint, though. He's pretty tedious to paint. You know, and by the time you paint Gilliman, he's going to have a new model. Champion on the model's a little small. Yeah, from a TARDIS. Yeah, the like chain fist thing. That's a cool idea. That's really cool. Please keep us updated, because that sounds like a lot of fun, Butterscorch. You know, I think if and when I get the Fellblade, my plan for painting, I think I'm going to leave the treads off. I'm going to leave the treads off, and I'm going to do the like ultimate sin where I'm going to paint the treads on the sprue, and then I'll clip them and glue them to the mini, and then I'll touch them up from there. I think that's the way to go. Buy rhinos soon. Large vehicles seem awful to paint. And rhinos not bad. Rhinos are super quick to paint. As long as you're using your dry brush skills, rhinos won't take long. Yeah, the bigger vehicles can take a lot longer though. But it's like a whole project, and it's satisfying to finish them. So. No more updates on the drama. It's the guy swearing he has a good reputation. Hey JJ, what's up? Valk should arrive tomorrow. Actually, I have Citadel Skulls. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the Citadel Skulls kit's pretty great. What's that? Why are we ignoring who? Me? The vapors. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. Oh, painting on sprue. I gotcha. Okay. I get the joke. Yeah. We were talking about that last week, maybe. How I tried it and I hated it, but you literally get a sprue of tank treads, and that's all it is. And man, that would save me. It saved me so much time painting. That probably cuts like 2 hours off my paint time. The aesthetic of Votann? Didn't know they had new models. Yeah, they got a bunch of new ones this summer. A new, like, a named character they got. Burry Agneson or something. And then, yeah, they got a new vehicle. They got a couple new generic characters. They got, an artillery piece. They got the robot squads, the like Space Marine squads that they made, that are just robots. Yeah, they got quite a bit. To build my glaive in Deathstorm drop pod, I've built everything for yeah. Battle group box, resin Praetor kit, half a Saturnine box, my Ashen Claws, other halves for my Space Wolves. Dang. Yeah, you get a lot to do. I'm sticking with 1 Legion. That's fine. It's fine, JG. You don't have to be in the loop all the time. Kind of annoyed with the combat forces? Why is that? You don't like the contents or what? I think Games Workshop like obviously made them to not be like spammable as much as they are. You know what, Cultured American? You don't need the Thalax. I know most people I know are cool with the Thalax and the Castellax. They just don't want more Thanatars. So I wonder if you can find Thanatars for cheap. Or find someone to trade things. You know? But yeah, I think Games Workshop is purposefully making them to not be like totally spammable. The Solar Ox one definitely goes against that theory though, because that one you can buy like 5 of those and still want more. Someone subscribe. Thank you so much for the YouTube subscribe. Welcome in. Nightbot will catch up here in a minute. It'll let me know who's doing that. Campaign. I don't want to go against Mr. Snuff. Oh, there's a blessing or a curse. Oh. Is he really good or something, or just? Demon Engine to represent a Thanatar. That's cool. Yeah. So the new Terminators announced today. So Assault Terminators and the Terminator Ancient are new minis, all coming in a Terminator Battle Force box, which is pretty wild. You can get salty. Okay. Well, that's too bad. They're just targeting your credit card specifically. John Lockridge. Yeah, I think they look pretty good. Nothing particularly exciting as far as like new stuff. It's Terminators and it's the Terminator Ancient, like we know what to expect. I don't think there's anything new in that set except they come with a little teleport beacon. But it's cool. Assault Terminators have always been really popular. So it's exciting. The Battle Force box set seems really good. So the new Terminators are for 40k. However, those Indominus pattern Terminators are usable in 30k. They have rules where you can just use them straight out of the box. So this is technically a Heresy release too. Chaos Squats in 40k? No, that'd be funny, but no. 30 years ago, maybe, but not today. You got to make your own Chaos Squats. $40k earn armor and 30k even if it's lore accurate. Yeah, that's fair. Hey, you don't have to use it. The thing you would have to do if you want to use that armor in 30k, you'd have to shave off the Crux Terminatus. That would be the big thing, because those didn't exist in that form on that armor. So yeah, they're generic Marine Terminators, but they're Assault Marines. Yeah. And there's a new Terminator transfer sheet. You can look it up on the Warhammer community site. The new transfer sheet has, I think, the main generic chapters. So there's Ultramarines, Imperial Fists, Raven Guard Salamanders, maybe Iron Hands. I don't remember if there's Iron Hands in there or not, but you don't like Indominus Terminators. Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. Yeah. I will say the helmetless options for the new Assault Terminators are bad, in my opinion. I think they look bad. Combat forces for Legions Imperialis? What? Hold on. Another announcement? Another announcement? Yeah, there is. They do have Legions Imperialis starter kits. That's cool. Alright. Well, good for them. Nice. Very nice. All helmetless options are bad. I made a helmetless 1,000 Sun Sergeant that I'll be painting soon. So, shame on me. Okay. Next thing we are painting. Big hull piece. Is it the breadcaster? No, that's not Sergeant Breadstick. It's what is he called? Sergeant Knife Hand? I don't remember what we called him. Through the 4, God's faction still missing a huge chunk of the range. Yeah, Nurgle has some stuff, but otherwise everybody else is kind of missing out, aren't they? Bigger shields for the Assault Terminators, yeah. It's like the Dark Angels ones, right? Are like big kind of tower shields. Yeah, they went with the little storm shields. Space furries like no helmets? That's true. That's true. Well, no one ever claimed they were the smartest chapters, so... Missing red butchers. They could definitely do a lot more interesting things with World Eaters that they don't, which is a shame. Also waiting for improvement on Terminator data sheets. Yeah, that's true. Maybe. Who knows? At the end of the day, 11th edition will be out before most people paint those Terminators, so... Force me to get better at faces. That's fair. That's fair. You know, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like the World Eaters in 40k need more range, need like a ranged weapon unit. It does not go against everything they stand for. They stand for shedding blood, and if that means shooting someone to shed their blood, I feel like that works just fine. Let's put more paint down. Yeah, I think adding some interesting different options into those Chaos armies would make them a lot more fun. Yeah, Blood God does not care how the blood is obtained. That's true. Well, they say to avoid range. Then why do they carry pistols? Or why do they use tanks? Like, it's also, let's be real here. Let's be real. This isn't like a battle of logic. This is a battle of GW can change anything they want at any time because it's cool. So, GW could add some varied playstyle into an army that right now is just chain axe wielding maniacs, and they could put some interesting things in there that change that dynamic. But they haven't, and they probably never will because reasons. Does Korn have like a maximum range that you're allowed to kill things before he's unhappy? And like, do the guys with the pistols know that? So, they might not shoot at the pistol's maximum range, but they wait till they get to a certain distance and then shoot. Like, when you start to think about it, it just all becomes ridiculous. Like, even Karn has a plasma pistol, and he is like the chosen one of Korn. They have to keep their armor red. Well, then if that's the case, then why are their pistols the same range as everybody else's? I don't think blood splattering 12 inches across the board. You definitely can take heads from a mile away. You kill them and then go and take their head. Like they do most of the time. Because I also feel like most of the time they're not killing and then taking and cleaning the skull in the middle of the battle. They're killing a bunch of people, and then after the battle they go through and they start taking skulls, right? Chain bullets are probably the solution that we're looking for. Butterscorch, yeah, that's a good call. Is them being mainly melee, but lacking larger melee variety, like no maces flails how? Yeah, they're just chain axes, just different sized chain axes. Is what their whole faction boils down to. It's like we got little chain axes for the two different cultist units we have. We have normal sized chain axes for the berserkers. We have a big chain axe for the for the 8 bound. And a bigger chain axe for Angron. There, our faction identity. Even if they had like a ranged unit that was like shotgun type weapons, like close range, a lot of shots, or like high damage at really close range, like that would be really interesting. But again, Games Workshop can make up any lore for anything at any time that they want, because it's their game and it's their IP, right? I don't know. I think you can run Bloodthirsters and World Eater armies. Doesn't sound far-fetched. You can add swords with Bloodletters. Oh, okay, so Bloodletters get swords. All right. What if I want my Bloodletters to have chain axes, though? What do I do then? Yeah, I think a chain gun, though, would be the most appropriate. Just like light cannons that each of these dudes are wielding, like Havoc style. Here in Death Shroud. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay. Are we done with this first coat here? Let's see. They went all of that. Okay, there's a little back ramp there. Do a second coat on all these minis. Bloodletters are wielding swords all through. Yeah. I know. I'm joking about the axes on them. Horn would be ashamed. Yeah, like Thousand Suns could use a Kinatai variant, you know, double sword wielding power armor dudes, or something of that nature. Disc riding, like a jet bike equivalent unit would be something they could do. Yeah, they can do a lot of different stuff like that. Hey, Raja. I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Happy Monday to you. Great way range can that launches berserkers into battle, but it can be melee or ranged. Yeah, a berserker cannon. And it actually physically launches berserkers at the enemy. All right, you got me. There we go. How do we Flanderize the poor world eaters more? What if, guys? What if? Hear me out. The Emperor's children have noise marines, they have flawless blades, and then they have basic infantry. Okay, bolter dudes, and there's like the bolt pistol and knife guys, right? As like basic infantry, then you go up to the noise marines. What if the berserkers were the elite specialized world eaters unit? Excuse me. And then they also got their own unique bolter unit, their own unique tactical marine, like objective unit. What about that? Is that too crazy? Because that to me sounds fine. You know, make berserkers better, make them more expensive, make them more elite, and then you have, you have like a basic kind of legionary unit for them. Yeah, make berserkers great. Yep. So I feel like they're just one dimensional. The whole army is one dimensional. It's boring because it's just they do one thing and one thing only, and it's like, oh, they're gonna play World Eaters. Like, how do I make my list to counter this? Okay, they have melee. Corn, yeah, corn doesn't have to be one dimensional though, and World Eaters do not equal corn. That's I think the thing, the crux of the issue is like if you're running a demon army that's Khorne, even Khorne has ranged weapons, which is ridiculous. The demons of Khorne, they have like the is like the skull cannons, and they have the they make the giant. There's the giant demon engine that has a big like blood cannon or whatever. Like they're not even one dimensional, but World Eaters themselves are so completely just plain and boring because they have one dimension to them that you could make World Eaters have whatever they have, whatever you want them to have, and it would make sense. Over possibility of move, advance, and charge. Yeah. Yeah. Khorne demons have more variety in their army than the World Eaters do, which is crazy considering that Khorne demons are supposed to be like the embodiment of the Chaos God or whatever. So, and you know what though, Sith? I think that's a good idea. I think giving good counter charge melee to Tau is a great idea. I don't have any issues with that. You know, we're used to seeing a couple armies with answers to everything. And I don't mind an army like not being good at something, but when you have like a Tau army with good melee units, but there's also Kroot, right? Aren't Kroot good melee units? Like they're definitely like a counterpunch unit, if I'm not mistaken. But that comes with an opportunity cost, right? Your buffs, your army style, like your commander buffs, all these things are built around shooting for the Tau. So when you bring a melee unit, you're paying more than just the points for the melee unit. You're paying for the opportunity missed of not adding more into like what your army is known for. Excited for your Thalax to arrive? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I am more opposed to every army getting a big centerpiece mini than I am opposed to armies having units that can answer different, like all the different like generic list matchups. Running a skeleton horde as demons for 30k. It works. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really cool idea, Night Trap. The great thing about 30k demons is they're kind of like this unknowable force. And so you can I'm sure you can find a way to make that work. Just going through second coat. I hope to finish these all by the end of the week. We got 5 days to do it. It's available to counter things, a good idea. It doesn't mean the list that just includes them all will be good. Yes, I agree, Raja. I absolutely agree. I have a Thalax for each of the Chaos Gods. Chaos Undivided, Tech Heresy, it's a whole squad. Yeah, it's all 6 of them, isn't it? I feel like Tzeentch would be if he had like feathers or like bird pieces or whatever. Doing that, a lot of like flames or something. Colorful flames. Good stuff. Almost done with this, with these colors on this guy. I got these little things underneath and kind of inside of the truck bed. Citadel bird skulls. Little green stuff on its head. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Slaanesh tentacles? I have no idea. Snake things. Elongate its legs, make it look like lanky and stuff. I don't know. How to turn a Thalax into a Tzeentch corrupted Thalax. That's the question here. If you could find like a mechanical snake body for it, that would be cool. Like for like its legs. That would be really cool. For Slaanesh. Did I say Tzeentch? I meant Slaanesh. Hey, Misfit, what's going on? Look up mechanical robot snakes, see if you can scale to work, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about our Scorch, if you have a printer. Looking up, yeah. I'm sure you could find things to go with it. But if you're just kit bashing, I feel like Age of Sigmar or Necrons. Age of Sigmar, what is the Daughters of Cain or whatever? Those might be good, or the like Marathi ladies, or Necron pieces. I'm close to finishing the first 5 of my command squads. Nice. That's crazy. And you have, what, 3 command squads? Such a good kit, though. 4 of them. Wow. Yeah. A Slaanesh one with a see-through head with a freehand skull melting in acid or something. Okay, that's pretty wild. That is way off from what I was thinking, but that's cool. Please share pictures. I technically have a printer, but I've never used it. Okay, that's fair. Going this way. Going this way. Okay, we have the bone on this mini. Bone painted on this mini. Word Eater's transfers will be a nice, very nice. I put a power fist or claw on my sergeant from the official upgrade sprue. What do I do with his other hand? Probably a pistol. Yeah. If you need, I'll get you a bolt pistol. I got spares. That melee kit comes with a bunch of them. So, or I can print you one, but I'll just give you a plastic one. And it's just the hand with the pistol. You already have the arm, so you'll just use the one arm from it. Yeah. All right, guys. I will. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Stick with me. All right, back. I did check on my print. It looks like it finished fine. So I can get back to the Saturnine soon. Okay. Looks like we did everything on this mini that we needed to. So, let's move on and go ahead and put second coat on these characters. Printer's owned by a friend. Yeah, that's the best printer to have, is one owned by a friend. Do sergeants rock banners at all? No, so, are you talking about 30k stuff, Zen? 30k squads? Yeah, the little back banner that comes in the set, those are Vexilias, and that's just a normal legionary carries that. Yep. Same with the Nuncio Vox. So it would be cool if sergeants could carry the Vexilia, because sergeants with the back banners look really cool, but no, they don't. I think the next minis I paint for myself are going to be my Tarantula batteries. I haven't played Old World in a while, no. I have played, my tabletop gaming has pretty much been 30k for like the past year at this point. Yeah, I played a couple games of Old World. Our local group kind of died out, but it seems like it's like people are jumping back into it. So I imagine if I really took the time to try to figure it out, I could probably find a game of Old World, and I wouldn't mind it. I know there's some changes to the rules that helped out the kind of army I like to run, like a bunch of infantry and stuff, so not mind playing some Old World. All of my like focus for painting my own stuff has been this 30k stuff, just because I have that Saturnine box and I have other things on top of that to paint, and I don't like having a big like pile of shame going, so I've been just like doing what I can to clear that out. Hey, Aslan Grants, how you doing? All is well. Okay. Let's get this last one, second coat of bone here. I'm used to painting a lot bigger lots of Votann minis, so it's kind of weird just to have 4 miniatures to paint at once. I know I said I wasn't going to assembly line paint them, but doing with a couple colors is probably fine. Get to a point where we're tired of doing it, and then we just pick a mini and we focus on it. Doing well. Okay. The new Terminators, yeah, they look cool. They look cool. Probably be a pass for me at this point. I like the Battle Force box that's coming out. I think it's really great if you just want a bunch of Terminators. But not for me. I've never been like a big like Terminator guy. So I plan on getting them for 30k when they update the 30k Terminators, but otherwise, that's about it. Feel bad for Grey Knight players. What about Dark Eldar players, man? What about them? Do they get any attention? They don't even get sympathy. That's how little they're thought of. Yeah, who? Yeah. New Termy pieces print out okay. Yeah, so I went and took a glance at it. It looks like the print finished okay. So I'll have to go look and make sure and everything when I go clean the pieces. But looks like the print turned out okay. Yeah, Grey Knights will probably have their time in the sun next season, or next edition. Because Grey Knights are really popular, so I'm sure when they get... I mean, I assume they're really popular. Maybe they're not popular. Maybe it really is just Space Marines. Just classic, normal, chapter-abiding Space Marines. Is that painting? I'm going to sit here and watch you and enjoy your space stunties? That's fine. Failure to report. That's okay. Okay, we got the Evaluator. Let's see. We're going to get... This is my color. Let me see if I have replacement black brown. Because if I don't, I do not. Okay. Use what I got and then trip to the store. That's what I have left spills out of my paint bottle, so let's use all of it. Armor popular 9th, being one of the cheapest armies to field. Yeah, with that cool their combat patrol, that was just a great value. Same with Dark Eldar, but they never got as popular even with the cool combat patrol. Yeah, something that's fun to do is to have an army that you only buy things from discount boxes. So if you're able to, you know, you just... Like, my Necrons are that army. Where I don't think I have ever paid even, like store discount prices for a Necron set. It's always been, like bulk boxes with, like, crazy discounts on them. So... Yes, yeah, I am streaming on Twitch as well, failure to report. So Twitch and YouTube. Your printer isn't in working condition? Ah, that's too bad. It's also like a leather backpack, basically. Yeah, having an army that you can just buy like with discount boxes is really satisfying. My Solar Auxiliary are practically that. I have a discount box that I got for him, the original like Battle Force box, and then Zendro bought me a tank, and like that's the extent of my Solar Aux, but it's like 1,500 points, so I'll get more. Went to the shop to pick up some orcs. Was it not good? Whoa, the heavy sentinels for $25 each? Yeah, those are $60 minis, I think. That's a steal on those. Were they weren't like new in box, were they? They're like someone assembled them and like broke them or something. Oh, just the cardboard. Wow, okay. That's wild. Really enjoying making the Dark Mech Allied detachment. Might make it into an army in the very distant future. Nice. I think Dark Mech will be coming to 30k and 40k soon-ish. I don't think that's going to be too far out. Is GW doing an announcement stream in October? Are they doing something at LVO? I don't know if they said they are or not, but... And it seems like they've kind of shied away from doing big announcement things like that, but... So here's hoping Mech 30k models can be used in Dark Mech. I assume they can be, yeah. That's an easy way to have a range expand, right? Like, easily, is just... You know, the Loyalist and the Traders all share models, but then Loyalists have a couple different ones and Traders have a couple different ones. So, and in Heresy, it would definitely be the Traders have more minis for the Mechanicum because they got all the secret technology, the forbidden tech. 20 Mark IIs, 10 Tacticals, 10 Terror Squad. Nice. Very nice. You've seen me pictures, dude. I gotta see them. Yeah, honestly, I'm a little hesitant to build things anymore, like new units, if they don't have like a miniature released that's like out. Sometimes just I don't want them to look goofy compared to the official ones if I make them weird, but also like I'm gonna make sure my models have the correct things on them and everything. So just waiting for new Terminators. That's my thing. You want to damage the Terror Squads or you don't? Yeah, oh, the big stalkers would be really cool. Giant knight-sized spider walkers. Want to take care of their armor since they're all marked for death. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. All right. That's really cool. I think it's a good idea. Yes, Termies. I'm not gonna make Termies that look like midgets next to the Emperor's Children. Yeah, that's fair. Do you have an Emperor's Children army?
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, thank you for the follow. Sandy, welcome in.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Someone subscribe. If someone subscribed on YouTube, thank you. Was that you, failure to report? Subscribing on YouTube. The YouTube Nightbot is not as quick as the Twitch one. Takes a few minutes.
Look at me!
Oh, Zen is you got your minis. You took a picture anyway. All right, sweet. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Oh yes, Terror Squad. Oh, the cool chain blades. Yeah, that's awesome. Those are gonna look so good. Painted up with Night Lords. Just failure is fine. Okay. Alright. Got 2,500 points of Emperor's Children, 2,700 points Space Marines. You're going to paint with Kakaradons, 37 of Tyranids, and 1,500 of Chaos Knights. Wow, okay. All of them need to be painted except for Emperor's Children characters. Okay. You want to post a picture of some stuff in the Discord? I would love to see some of the characters, like Fulgrim. It'd be great to see a Fulgrim mini painted up. I think that's about it for the brown on this guy. Running through the Emperor's Children. Yeah, I'm going to paint Emperor's Children probably in October, I think, is when I'll get to those. So, you guys be ready. I got 40k Emperor's Children on the docket. This dude, a little different with his colors here. Making his Death Guard for Heresy with an allied detachment Dark Mech. I think that's awesome. Yeah. See, remain in the back burner. Yeah. You still need 30 more neophytes. It's rough. That's a lot. It's a commission. The Emperor's Children will be a commission. Yeah, no plans to start new armies at the moment. I'd hype it up a bunch if I was, because I mean, I'd be clear on my backlog and everything. You need acolytes too. Okay. Fun to build and paint, just how crazy their paint schemes are. Yeah, I'm looking forward to painting them. The ones I have coming in, they're just gonna be like the they're going with the classic like studio color scheme, but should be fun. It'll be a nice challenge. I don't paint pink often, so nice to have something a little different. What 40k armies do I have currently? I have Space Marines. My Primaris army is Ultramarines. I don't know, maybe they're all around 3,000 or more points, except for my Genestealer cults. Which, speaking, I have Genestealer cults. At one point, it was almost 2,000 points of Genestealer cults, but since 10th, the points have gone down on everything, and it's closer to like 1,200 points of Genestealer cults. So I got about 1,200 points of Genestealer cults. I have a Necron army. The Necron army is about 3,000 points or so. And I have a Dark Eldar army, or Drukhari, whatever you want to say. I got about 3,500, maybe 4,000 points of those. So those are the armies that I have for 40k. Thalax I know I'm going to make are going to be Heretic and Khorne. That's cool. Yeah, the little strategist guy with his little like observation tendril things. Sorry, my voice is still hurting, so I'm trying to stay hydrated here. Okay, we're gonna get the bomber jacket here. We gotta get his bomber jacket. And then stuff in the bags, maybe? Just 2 things on top of there. A bedroll I'll get. A bottle case, but that's about it on these. Alright. Yeah, GSC are very cool. Yeah. I agree. They are very time consuming to paint, and it's extra painful because all of their units are so cheap. But they have an incredible theme. I think their minis look really good. They look way better in person than I ever thought they would. But yeah, they're just a cool faction overall. And they're usable in 30k. Or at least most of them are. Yeah, Genestealer cults are usable as militia. So the Imperialis militia rules have all the Genestealer cult vehicles and a lot of the infantry. So basically the non like complete mutated or Tyranid-esque stuff have rules, including like mining weapons and like mining lasers. The Ridge Runner has a rule. Yeah, no Keller Morph. You could probably find a use for the Keller Morph, but yeah, the Keller Morph is one that doesn't have I think it doesn't have a direct rules translation. But yeah, if you have a Genestealer Cult's army, you can most likely play 30k. You're gonna be putting a lot more models on the board though. And you can add a bunch of stuff, so you know you can have a bunch of tanks and yeah, all that kind of stuff. Such as the cost of militia, yeah. I thought it was really cool though. So yeah, Chaos Militia, yep. Just planetary defense or whatever. Like you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. The militia army itself uses Genestealer cults. There's everything from Necromunda that's not a named character has rules in 30k. So you can run a like a Palatine Enforcer, which are like the cops. You can run a cop-themed militia army if you want. You can run a Votann army, a squat army in militia if you want. And there are actual rules for using a lot of their equipment, like their Terminator suits they get in Necromunda. Like those have rules in the militia army. Use Warp Talons to make Assault Devastators. Just got semi-legends. Okay, yeah. You can run an Orlok army, yeah. Yeah, the Necromunda armies would be expensive. What are those boxes? They come with how expensive is just like a basic Necromunda game box? I'll look it up. I want to see what they have. Start here. Do we explore Necromunda? Job. Okay, $52 for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 models. Okay, that's not great. Not great at all. They have a mix of weapons. I know there's weapon upgrade sprues. How much are the weapon upgrade sprues? Are $30. So if you're wanting everybody with the same weapon, it looks like you're going to be spending $82 on 10 minis. Now, if we go to, not Imperial Agents, Astra Militarum, how much are 10 Cadians? Okay, 10 Catechins are $37. 10 Krieg are $52. Acadians apparently aren't listed or out of stock. Okay, just straight up not listed. The Acadians. Oh, Acadian shock troops. Okay, $52. So, yeah, there's rules for jungle fighters. Yeah, there's definitely stuff. Yeah, so 10 Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum infantry are the same price as 10 troops from a Necromunda gang. So if you're going the GW route and there's no like discount boxes or whatever, you're going to be paying the same price at the baseline for the Necromunda gang. The difference will be it's hired. No, hired guns are like the special characters, aren't they? Okay, they don't have like a faction. The difference is that these factions, these sets for Necromunda, are they just like 2 repeating sprues? They normally don't come with the weapons you need that make a consistent force. So you would need to buy the upgrade sprue. Like this dude has a giant crossbow with an RPG on the end. If we're just looking at 40k, hold on, because I want to see Gene Stealer cults. Where's the neophytes? They put down to 10 minis in a box? No way. Those used to be 20 in a box, didn't they? 10 neophytes are $58? Why are those $58? That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, and I'm not factoring in like discount stores and everything. So I'm just saying like on the surface, because I'm not doing those calculations in my head. Just on the surface, retail price. 2 or 3 bikers, 5 leads, 10 infantry, $60 each. About like Ash Wastebox, you can run both the Orlok and the Nomads and say, yeah, I mean, it's your theme. You're coming up with, so when I say that there's rules for Necromunda models, I'm not saying that you're like, there's not a squad that's an Orlok squad or a Nomad squad or a Kaldor squad or a, there's none of that. It's, you have your militia units and you can tailor their equipment to be different things, and then there's provenances which are like special rules that it's kind of like a la carte rules for your army, like army-wide rules, and you can tailor those into certain styles. So and there's I don't know, maybe 15 different ones, and you pick 2. So you really get to like mix and match all these different styles. But there is one that's like a law enforcement theme that actually lets you get equipment that matches the stuff that the Palatine enforcers get. There is a Votann theme one that lets you take like big exosuits, like they get Necromunda, and it basically turns your troops into Votann. There's a jump troop one that lets you deep strike your squads and basically turns them into the Elysian drop troops. But when you mix and match, you kind of come up with your own themes. The whole army book, it's free. The book is a free PDF from GW, but it's like a big a la carte, like make your own kind of army. So yeah, there's like an industrial minor kind of industrial stronghold, I think is what it's called, that's themed after like a mining colony, and it'll let you bring like industrial weapons, so mining lasers and stuff like that. So so if you have a bunch of Gene Stealer cults with like mining lasers and everything, you can bring those and you just take that as one of your 2 provenances, and you can mix and match any provenance with another. So see you, Butterscorch. Have a good one. 10 jackals for $60. That's not retail though, right? You're talking about the bikers? They're $62 for 5. Well, it's 4 jackals in the quad, right? No. I don't know who this is. Can someone ban the bot? Imagine Votann fighting Tyranids a lot, but not familiar with it. Yeah, I think they do fight Tyranids a bunch. They actually have their new special characters. Like, he's just all about fighting Tyranids. And in the lore, they actually did get swallowed up by Tyranids. I don't know, did someone get it? Maybe. Convert a copy car for my orcs. I haven't found the right one yet. Yeah. I don't know, who is Votann's biggest nemesis? Does anybody know? Like, lore wise? What is going on? Vashtor, maybe, as a nemesis, yeah. Corrupted technology and such. That's fair. Things on high shelves, yeah. That's also one, yeah. Caboose Wood, I don't know if he's here. Who's Caboose? You talking about Crucial? Dunder Snuff? Crucial's pretty good about getting bots real quick. Arms race between Vashtor and the Votann cores would be sick. Yeah. No Weaver. Okay. Limewire is Votann's biggest nemesis. It's a deep cut, dude. Lockridge said Tyranids top of the list, Orc second, then probably Mechanicus. Alright. Right up there with Napster, yeah. I thought Dunderstuff was given a red versus blue reference or something, and I was about to make a comment on it, but... Okay. Time for some silver. Oh, I forgot his username. Okay. Votann and Mechanicus 2, I think we could see how they interact with both factions. Yeah, that's true. Do you get to play as Votann, or are they just like one of the enemies? I think the rivalry between Votann and Mechanicus is that Votann use AI, and to the Mechanicus that is like the ultimate abomination. So it's like it's a secret for the Votann when they deal with the Imperium that they're using AI. But I imagine if there happens to be a Mechanicus group that finds out, they would be very unhappy. Also, the Votann have STCs, like complete STCs or whatever. which is something that the Mechanicum are always trying to get. Paul's Oath. The Ironkins specifically have to disguise themselves so tech priests don't suspect them of tech heresy. Yeah, yep. Pre-Jihad is Votann, Dune is Mechanicum. Yep, yep. What's the username of the bot in here? It's gone now, and no reports of someone banning them. It was, Restream still has the person. Hold on. Urena_7. EURENNA _7. Divine Autosport. How are you doing today? Welcome in. They're not in chat. Okay, no, whatever. They're lurking and waiting. Siri, yeah, Siri may have. That's true. The bot's fighting it out in chat behind the scenes. Quite a few people in YouTube today. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody's doing well, whether you're in YouTube or Twitch. So did you guys see the new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer? And they have a poster out, and they have a release date for the movie. I am very, very whelmed at the trailer. I don't know if yeah, it's a movie. They're making instead of like a 4th season, they're making it into a movie. I don't whelmed, yeah. Like not overwhelmed, underwhelmed. It's just kind of there. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look great. I'm sorry. It just looks so meh. Yeah. They made a poster too, and the poster's like really retro looking. And I think it looks bad. But it's just me. Such a great, dark, gritty Star Wars universe story. Instead, it turned into My Mando, the babysitter. Yeah. They should have moved on. They should have kept Grogu with Luke and like not. Yeah, I think that was more like producers were like, oh no, we can't get rid of Baby Yoda because if we do that, our toy sales will tank. But they, I don't know, do a spin-off with Luke or something, but they should have let the Mando go do a different story. The Mandalorian and Grogu, yeah. It's a film. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't. It's Star Wars on the big screen. It's meant to be, so I'll be seeing it. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much how I feel. Yeah. Yeah, the last season wasn't very good. My big problem with the last season was they took everything that happened in season 2, and not only did they put all of the explanation for season 3 in a different show, but then they come into season 3 and just remove everything they did in season 2. Like, they didn't like what season 2 did, so they just removed it all. And I didn't like that. I thought, like, I like Grogu. I think he's cool. He's funny. Blah blah blah. Cute little baby, whatever. But that should have been the end of that story, and they should have moved it along. Yeah, it's a trailer for a season of Mando, but it's going to be 2 hours. And you're like, how do they fit this whole season in 2 hours? And like, I understand, they get to remove a lot of the like filler stuff, but with all the filler stuff removed, like it still like it doesn't look like anything's happening. It just looks like a rehash of like season 3, right? Am I crazy in that it just looks like Mando came back for Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett? It wasn't even in the Mandalorian show. It was they spent 2 episodes on just the Mandalorian in the 6-episode series Book of Boba Fett. So MacGuffin leads him to one dangerous place to another. Yeah, it's exactly what it's going to be, Zen. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, my son recently watched through all of The Mandalorian. And he was watching through it, and he's like, wait. Because he's seen all these things. And we watched the episodes in the Book of Boba Fett where they have, like, the Mandalorian in them and stuff. And he's watching through it. He goes from season 2 to 3, and he's like, wait, why is Grogu with him? He's like, where's the episode when he gets Grogu back? And I was like, that's not in this show. And he's like, yeah, it is. He's like, I've seen it. I was like, no, it's in a different show. I was like, that's in Book of Boba Fett. So you just like, can you imagine watching that show for the first time? And it's like, oh, he got rid of Grogu, and like, oh, it's sad, big emotional part. And then they're just walking around together in the very next episode. They should make a follow-up movie to that Andor show. Yeah, they should. Definitely. I bet that'd be really good. Might even be my favorite Star Wars movie if they did that. Finally started painting Admech. Oh, nice. Very cool. The second episode, Bill Burr shows up. Yeah. When they disguise themselves as Imperials. Yeah, it's a really good episode. That is one of the best episodes, I think. You hope her ship's called the Nostromo? Yeah, it probably will be. Yeah, it's cool to have Sigourney Weaver in the show. That's neat, but I have a feeling she's going to be playing Sigourney Weaver. Grogu should have stayed gone. Yeah, it was a great arc. Yeah, I agree. They had a plan, and I think that producers made him backtrack, and I think it tanked the whole story in the show because Disney couldn't give up their toy sales. Yeah, I know, Danzier. We're joking. There's one guy in particular on Twitch that claims he doesn't like Rogue One to try to mess with me. Yeah, Andor literally leads into Rogue One, like in the most obvious way possible. It's time to retire Star Wars. No, they need to put out some good stuff like Andor. Andor is incredible. That show is like a masterpiece of a TV show on its own, and the fact that it's Star Wars is amazing. Your meeting got canceled. Okay, sweet. Congratulations. They shoehorn the Jedi healer. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was definitely like a choice. She wasn't a Jedi though. It was just like a person that believed in the Force. I think that was like, and Danzier, I think a lot of the stuff in Andor had to be rushed in that second season too. Like, I don't think they planned on. The original show was supposed to be 5 seasons. So maybe that lady had more parts, or they were going to get into like the Force religion kind of thing a little more, but yeah, they just kind of had her in an episode, and she was like calling out things, right? And that was about it. It does lead into him and like when he sees Cherut, and how he like interacts with him in Rogue One, already knowing someone that acts like he does or believes the same things he does. So yeah, Andor's incredible. Yeah, Anthony. I have no idea who that is, Dundersnuff. Yeah, they cut down Andor. Can you believe that? They cut that show down to 2 seasons. Like, there was so much. I think the second season was just going to be the Gormand. And then there was going to be 3 seasons with like K2SO in the show and all this crazy stuff, and they ended up cutting the show down. I just made for an intense 12 episodes though. Yeah, so for these other characters, but I wasn't that into his girlfriend's character. Character felt unnecessary. I thought her character was great. I really liked that character. Yeah, whatever her name was. I don't remember her name, but it was a great character. She had like good like story arcs, you know, like the fact that she was like terrorized and tortured and everything, and then like gets her revenge and everything was just like such a satisfying moment in the show. Some reason I like Rogue One is the protagonists are an excuse to tell a story about antagonists. Yeah, yep. Rogue One to me is the story of an Imperial officer who has a bad work week. Yeah, pretty much, right? That is a fair comparison. It's my favorite Star Wars movie, though. Poor director. Director Krennic's, but no horrible, no good. Oh, what do you call that? Like terrible, bad week of work. Someone out there had the balls to write Star Wars movie show from the Imperial perspective, where the rebels are just terrorists. Yeah. You know, I gotta say, I don't think that's the best thing right now because I feel like people at this point have a hard enough time distinguishing like what's okay and what isn't. It's okay to have a good and a bad guy, you know, like Andor was close enough to like blurring the lines of like what they do for the rebellion and everything. But man, there are people out there that are like, yeah, Homelander's really like Superman and he's the hero of the story. And they just can't like people are too like I don't know media illiterate to understand like when a bad guy is supposed to be a bad guy in a show or movie. Yeah, they don't see the satire of it. When it's like, I don't think I've ever seen more obvious satire in a show or movie than The Boys. People are like, I just want to be like Homelander. It's crazy. I don't think The Boys is very good. I really liked The Boys the first couple seasons. What is it? It's had 4 seasons now. I think the fifth season's the last season, but I think the writers got too caught up in making everything like a current events topic, which can be fine, but and it was like the show is all like shock value. The first season's really well done, where it has the crazy shock value because that whole comic is just shock value, right? That's all it is, just crazy moments like that. But I think they try to go further and further each season for like no necessary reason other than to just be crazy, and then it's like, yeah, it just that show just became super meandering. I'll watch the last season of it. I'll finish out the show. I'm curious how they end it, but the same people play Black Templar, yeah. Undermined by Spear talking, choked by Vader, and Rebels spoiling everything, yeah. Yeah, season 2 was probably the peak of the show, yeah. But then season 2 was like, yeah, that's like the height of the satire, right, for the show, and it's just like nobody got it. Not nobody, but way too many people did not get that and took the wrong things from the literal Nazi lady saying Nazi things, and people were like, yeah, she's great. Invincible is a great show. Yeah, I agree with that. I really enjoy Invincible. The Tick? I think I watched The Tick a long time ago. They only had like one season, right? I feel like it wasn't very popular when it came out. Yeah, Danzier, I kind of agree with you. Yeah, they 100% just went in for like, let's make people gasp, and like that's what the show humor kind of turned into, or what the whole show turned into. And don't get me wrong, I have read the comic for the boys, and the comic is so many horrible things in its own right. The comic is like if someone just like hired a 12-year-old boy and was like, hey, write the most raunchy things you can about superheroes, and they just went with it. That's the boys comic. And I really liked the first couple seasons of the boys show because it kind of got away from that in a lot of ways. It wasn't just that, and then they just like really turned it back into the awfulness, but like in the worst way. Freakazoid. Yeah, I've never seen Freakazoid. Homelander carries the show for you. Yeah. He's a good villain. I say even he's gotten kind of weird, but I'm just curious to see what they do with him, like how they finish the story and if they do something similar to the comic, how the comic ended, because they have strayed way off the original story. DC Injustice movie. I haven't seen it. Okay, a couple little silver things to paint here. Cables that plug in. Movie's significantly better than the live action ones. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've watched exactly one DC movie in the past, like, maybe 6 or 7 years. I saw the original Suicide Squad with, like, Will Smith and everything. And the next DC movie I watched was the new Superman movie this summer. Animated universe a third time? Oh, that's when they shut it down. Flashpoint Paradox. I think I watched Flashpoint Paradox a long time ago. I think I was bored or sick and it was on like Netflix or something. So it like goes to the future, right? It goes into the future and it's like everything's all messed up and doesn't like Atlantis go to war with like Wonder Woman or something and there's like a whole thing there. He goes to the past and then comes back to the present. I don't, yeah. Yeah, okay. Something like that. I remember like Superman in that movie. He was like locked in a vault away from the sun, and they get him out, and he's like all scrawny and like decrepit looking. But then he gets the sun's energy, and he becomes like super strong all of a sudden. Let's. Okay, that's enough. All right. Do I have spare bronze? Let's see. I think I have bronze. There's my bronze. Let's get that out. That to the side. Flashpoint. It's just Atlantis versus. Yeah. Okay. That's right. That's what it was. Yeah. a couple different colors in here. Try to change some things up. Oh, and they just include that in every movie afterwards? No, that's too bad. I guess that's not what I remember that movie for, but that's what the creators did. More world on. Okay, I don't know what any of that is. Oh, being in those movies. I don't know. Okay, we got some bronze on this dude. Other accents here. Making good progress, though. See if this guy has any particular bronze. I think his jacket here, I could, or I could just keep it red. I light it really light. Yeah. Let's do that. Started Alien Earth. So far, it's as good as I hoped. I worried one plot line I just don't like. It covers a lot of topics I'm into, so I can forgive it. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I haven't watched that yet, so maybe eventually I will. But that's good to know that it's pretty decent so far. We watched Jurassic World Rebirth this weekend. That was what my family did. It was okay. That's the most I got out of it. Like it is a very okay movie. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. Um, but it's a sequel to all the movies. So it's a sequel to all the Jurassic World trilogy and everything. Um, every Jurassic Park movie, the first one is amazing, the second one's good, and then they're all just kind of downhill from there. So yeah, I think it's difficult because you like all of those movies get compared to the first Jurassic Park, and there's no way you can tell a story as good as that movie does, like in the context. And yeah, this one just gets a really convoluted plot from the outset. It's the dinosaurs are dying off because they can't live in all the climates, so the only place they can really survive is like in tropical climates, like close to the equator. Okay, more oxygen rich, sure, that's fine. And so this guy is like, he finds Scarlett Johansson. He's like, we need you and your skills because we have a mission. We gotta go get these dinosaurs. And she's like, I'm not gonna do it. And he's like, here's a bunch of money. And she's like, I'm in. And then they get friends, and the friends are like, I'm not gonna do it. But then he's like, here's money, and they're like, I'm in. The one guy, okay, there's a scientist, like a paleontologist, who, like, through this whole thing, this whole story, 30 years of Jurassic Park in this setting, this man has never seen a real dinosaur up close, which is crazy to me because also at the start of the movie they're in New York City, and there is literally a diplodocus dying in the middle of a street in downtown New York City, like around the corner from this like museum for like dinosaurs. And this guy's like, I've never seen him in person. And we're like, what? Like, go outside for once. But also, Hollywood has this issue. This was a rant I had last night. I was talking to the painting wife about this. This is like a weird thing. But like, Hollywood movies, I feel like refuse to put anyone normal looking in their movies anymore. They have to put like the most ridiculously good looking people in every role. So there's this guy that's this nerdy scientist, and he keeps saying nerdy scientist things, and like, you know, I'm doing calculations, and he has like big glasses on and everything. And then the guy is like, he's like chiseled jawline, like the dude works out, you know, every day of the week. He's got like the perfect facial hair to look like rugged but cool and all this stuff. And then one of the characters mentions a gym to him, and he's like, what? What's that? Like, I've never heard of a gym before. Like, it's wild that like they like cast these people in these movies. I hate that. It's Jumanji. Oh no. So that was kind of funny, but then it turned into this thing like, yeah, we need the blood of some of the living dinosaurs to cure cancer. All right, cool. Because the guy works for a pharmaceutical company. Like, we're gonna make all kinds of money on this. And I'm like, cool. But they need specific examples from 3 different dinosaurs. And they're like, what are the dinosaurs? They're like, we need a mosasaurus, a gigantosaurus, and a quetzalcoatl. And they're like, we need one from the sea, one that lives on land, and one that lives in the air, because reasons. And they're really big, so their heart works more efficiently. It's not cancer, it's heart disease that they're curing. We're going to cure heart disease by getting blood from animals with big hearts. So we need big dinosaurs. And it literally is a WoW grind quest, yeah. Yeah, like, why do they need the blood from one from the sea, one from the land? And you're like, well, do they have to be living? Like, we have tons of tissue samples from dead animals. You're like, well, the blood goes bad like minutes after an animal dies, so we can't use the blood from dead animals. So they take the blood from animals, put it in a freezer like suitcase, and continue on their journey. Yeah, it's literally an MMO fetch quest, yeah. And then, like, they introduce these 3 characters, and the second they introduce them, like, those 3 die. Like, you know it. From the second they show up on screen. And sure enough, each of them die in some different manner. And, yeah, and then all you know, and also with every Jurassic movie, it's the rich guy that dies because he's the rich guy, and like, you know, he has moral deficiencies, obviously, being the rich guy. This guy almost like shot a kid or whatever, and so they're like, yeah, he's got to die. So he dies in like the most horrible way. The minutes of an extraction, if that's the excuse, yeah, but they're like, no, we have to get it from a living animal, and so they have this like ridiculous like dart gun that shoots a parachute out the back after it extracts the blood, and then they wait for it to fall, and then they put it in a freezer suitcase. become like Meg and Sharknado. It kind of has, yeah, but it had a lot bigger budget. Like I really didn't like outright hate the movie. It's just like like the premise of it was really dumb. Like, yeah, we don't need sedatives. We either like the and okay, all these things happen. The most unbelievable thing in the entire movie is that the mission has to be a secret. The job's a secret, because what we are told is that every single government in the world has outlawed going into the places where the dinosaurs live. Every single government. Like, I don't think you can get every government to agree that I don't know, the sun is a separate entity from the earth, but every government agreed that we can't go to these dinosaurs because it's bad or it's dangerous or whatever. And that's just kind of, they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, so we keep it secret. The family gets eaten, but the military guys last longer. That would be funny, yeah. Seduce the dinos with conventionally attractive. I think that's what they were doing. Yeah, that was what the producers thought. They're like, Scarlett Johansson is a rugged mercenary. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, like everybody's gonna be just trying to get all those dinosaurs to test all their nonsense things, right? Just using to test new biological weapons or whatever. Like, no one's gonna agree to not let people go. Well, yeah, let's say it's off limits for like civilians, and then they'll all go there. Worked in Marvel. It didn't work in Marvel, but yeah, Marvel did it. Nine Kings and ride the Raptors into battle. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Like I said, though, it wasn't a terrible watch while I was watching it, but the premise made no sense. There's an Eldar faction that rides dinos with lasers in 40k. Yeah, the Exodites. Yeah. I don't know if they use lasers or not, but they're like primitive Eldar. Yep. You are correct in that. Oh, I need some more light bronze on this guy. We'll get back to it. Ever watch Dino Riders? No. My son's been watching Dino Trucks, though. Is that what it is? Dino Trucks? I think that might be what it's called. Which, he finished the show. And I don't care for it. I think it's maybe a little too young for him anyway. But I found out that there is a sequel series for it that Netflix paid for. It's like a DreamWorks show, though. But Netflix had it. Well, Netflix took it down like last year, and they never put it back up. So I can't even look up the sequel series to like finish out the Dino Truck series that my son's watching. And what's funny is when I looked this up, I found a subreddit for Dino Trucks, because of course I did. And there's a lot of people that were like, You know, and I don't hate on people for liking what they like, but there are a lot of people that were like, man, this show is made for adults. Like, I don't care if it has childish things. I was like, this show is it's not made for adults. Like, my 8-year-old, I feel like is probably too old to watch this show. But yeah. What did GW do, Sith? Dino Riders. Okay, I think I might be familiar with Dino Riders. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. More of this. Yeah, the new Terminator's sheet. Yep. New Terminator transfer sheet. It doesn't have Iron Hands, does it? And Sith, that's your chapter, isn't it? Yep. I saw that. I was looking at that this morning, and I was like, wow, that's got them all. And I was like, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. So, as someone who does not like Iron Hands, I say, ha. But that does stink, though. Base colors on here. Let's see if I can get some washes down real quick. Just to get them started. Does make you wonder what they're going to do for 11th edition. Not much of anything needs refreshing. Yeah, except, well, I don't even think the Dark Eldar line needs refreshed. I think they could use some new units added in. And all the stuff they took out getting plastic releases, but yeah, Grey Knights. Yeah, Grey Knights need a refresh. That's true. I think Blood Angels just need a do-over. You don't think Dark Eldar are getting an 11th? Probably not. I mean, if we're speaking historically, Dark Eldar will lose more units in 11th edition when the edition comes out and when their codex comes out. They'll just lose units. Yeah, there's gonna be 3 people. Yeah. There's gonna be Drazar, Lilith, and then like a raider that they're just gonna keep adding more rules to. So it's gonna have 35 rules. It's gonna take up 6 pages for its data sheet, and like, yeah, this is how people want to play Drukhari, right? Active threat on Iron Hands. Subreddit past few months. Oh, Iron Hands aren't getting anything if Iron Hands players think they are. I feel bad for them and their hope. Just have 10 of those. 6 pages of rules and 2 characters you can bring as writers. Yeah, and the other 3 pages of rules. Yeah, and they have 5 detachments. They'll have more detachments than units. Don't, Blue. Don't do that. You just carry on. Go find something else to do, because I'm not putting that kind of attitude in my stream. Blue is saying he's surprised they haven't tried to smash them all into one rulebook, all the Eldar into one rulebook. Not putting up with that. All elves are going to AOS. Yeah. That'd be pretty funny. You believe it's going to be you believe what's going to be World Eaters? What do you mean, like the starter set? The launch box or whatever? Because I'm pretty sure we already kind of know what's in the launch box. The 11th villain? It's going to be orcs in the starter set. Yeah. Orcs versus Marines. I mean, you don't have to believe it, but that's what's going to happen. So... No, orcs were in 5th. 5th edition was the last time orcs were in a starter set. Dark Craft World Exodites. Yeah. Yep. Get out of here. Not saying it's the right choice, I'm just surprised. Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, they can sell mini codexes for lots of money, or one codex for lots of money, for slightly more money, and I feel like they go the mini codex route at this point. Yeah, no, it's always going to be Space Marines in the starter set. I think for 40k, that's just how it is. You know, Space Marines fund everything else. Okay, we gotta live with it. The Age of Sigmar boxes, though, I think personally GW needs to stop pushing Stormcast. They are nowhere near as popular for Sigmar as Space Marines are for 40k, and they could do interesting things with those start boxes. Not that I would ever play Sigmar, but they could have so many more interesting matchups, which they could for 40k too, but just never going to happen for 40k. The faster we accept that, I think the better off we all are. Orcs got massive refresh in 8th, new range in 9th. That's it is what it is. It doesn't matter. They're getting there. They're getting on the starter set. I don't know what they'll do. I'm sure they'll put some push fit boys in there and some other things. I don't know what they are, but they're gonna get it. Not saying I agree with that being the right choice. See, they have so many models, yeah. Orc's probably the most fun to build for me with me. Okay, it was fun for you, yeah. Many codexes mean production costs. One book costs cut the cost in half, likely. Yeah. Half the cost, but you sell it for, 3/4 of the price or whatever. Yeah, that's very true. That is definitely something to consider. I mean, at this point, I don't care. Like I'm practically done with 40K. You know, I'll probably check out 11th edition, but it's just it is not the game for me. Um, if they do crazy stuff with the rules, that's kind of their thing. Got the boys kit and made a bunch of stuff with it. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Surfaction probably be a special marine model in there. So when yep, yeah, that's a good set if you like orcs or marines. Equivalent to Custodes. They have way too much range and confuses new players. Yeah. And honestly, like, they're fantasy space marines. Like, it's obvious the thing that Games Workshop was trying to capitalize on with them, which is that everybody loves space marines, so why not make space marines for our fantasy game? And I don't think it's as popular. I think everybody sees it. It doesn't seem like a natural thing. It seems fake. If I somehow find myself in Ohio with 2,000 points of Dark Angels and a day to kill, I liked it. Oh, absolutely, Blue. Yeah, yeah. Listen, if people wanted to, like, if they came out my way and they were going to play a 40K game and want someone to play with, like, I'd find the time. For most of you. Some of you, I don't know. But, yeah. I've played a couple games with my my brother and my nephew, both play 40K now, and, like, I've done a few, like, they'll do, like, big, like, just, like, 2v2 games or 3-person games or whatever, and I'll put minis on the table, I'll push them around. What ends up happening, or what has ended up happening, I don't know if it'd so much be this way, but ends up being me playing the game because I know the rules, and none of them did. And so I would end up basically playing 3 armies or 4 armies on my own while they rolled dice. It's exhausting. That's for the best, Blue. Yeah. Yeah, don't force yourself to come to Ohio, guys. It's very well supported fan ranges against each other. Yeah. I would design a starter set for AOS. It'd be Slaves of Darkness versus Soulblight. Yeah, those seem like 2 really popular factions. Yeah. Yep. I was thinking the next edition of Sigmar will probably have Soulblight in the starter set, because they seem like they have been very popular, which I'm cool with, because that means cheap fodder for me for vampire counts in the old world. I am all about that. What's up, Greenleaf? How you doing? Yeah, I end up being a referee, but I'm also, like, playing the game. And it's not even like a referee at that point. It's just like, when we were playing, they were all so new to the rules. It was like just me playing the game against myself. And playing a 4-player game when 3 players don't know the rules, and, like, I have to go through, like, everything. Like, okay, what's your weapon skill? All right, what's your strength? What's their toughness? What do you need to wound? Yes, a 3. Okay, and let's roll the dice. And then I would go over and, like, do my own thing, and I'd go back. Okay, next attack. Now, what do you need to hit? And, like, it was just a lot of that. And, you know, I'm playing with, you know, my nephew, who's full-time student in school and working, or had, like, an internship, and then my brother works like 90 hours a week, and the other guy that would play for is like my brother's brother-in-law, I guess. He's in the service, and he's working like 60-70 hour weeks, so, like, I don't expect him to read a bunch of rules and stuff. I have, you know, no hard feelings about it. Just it's exhausting. Like, that's been my my 40k experience lately. Skeletons and vampires are peak fantasy. That's right. They are. They are. I agree. About to cut MDF. Oh, cool. What are you cutting up? Most fun edition to play. What version is the best party game? I enjoyed 5th edition the most for 40k. It had a lot of simplicity, but it still had a lot of like room for character. I think 4th was also good for that. 7th had some good things, but I know it had balance issues. I didn't play a lot of 7th. My big issue with 7th as a game was the number of like auras each character had, and it was just, you're just constantly measuring like 6-inch auras from like 8 units in your army to try to make sure everything overlapped in just the right way, and it got way too tedious. 5th edition I had the most fun with, and some of my best experiences with 40k was playing Apocalypse, and the Apocalypse book was written in 4th edition and worked with 5th edition. So if you can find the Apocalypse rules and the like the 5th edition rule book, it's much simpler. And yeah, and the Apocalypse rules were great with the formations and the crazy like strategic assets you could buy and everything. It was a lot of fun. So you're doing okay. That's your Iron Hands army, right, Sith? That you're doing? Captain, Company Heroes, Intercessors, Hellblasters, Heavy Intercessors, Suppressors, Eradicators, Inceptors, okay. 10 Terminators, 2x5 Assault Turrets. Sweet. So that new box is going to be really good for you then, right? My last game against Orcs? I kind of ran the game for both of us. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Blue. And that's, you know, that's fine. People are learning. I spent all day Saturday teaching people how to play Heresy. Like, I was looking up rules, or I wasn't, and I was showing people rules and just trying to do all of that, so... Yeah. Most interesting factions in AOS are the not humans. Yeah. You're talking about, like, the actual non-human factions, or are you saying, like, a faction that's kind of like humans, but not? Well, we got good work done. So these two characters, we're going to start doing highlights and stuff. We got some good, like, lots of surface area painted on this big truck. One thing I want to do before I end today, though. It went great, Blue. Yeah, it was great. My voice is killing me all day. Well, at the end of the day, Saturday, and then into Sunday, it was pretty miserable. But you know, my throat's still kind of hurting me a little bit. But otherwise, like, we had a big turnout. Met lots of new. I probably met a dozen new people. Yeah, I think people had a lot of fun. A lot of people jumping in the game and everything. So yeah, it was like it was like noon to like 5 p.m. We were just playing, teaching people how to play Heresy. We set up some boards with some pre-made armies, encourage people to bring their own stuff if they had it, and that's what we did. I'm gonna putting some matte varnish where I need to on these minis. So we don't want the non-shiny things to show up as shiny. Yeah, no, we didn't get any credit or anything for it. I wasn't thinking I would. I was like, man, it'd be cool if I did. But I really wasn't like gonna go into it expecting to get something out of it. I was happy to have new people. The fact that as many people showed up as they did was really encouraging to me. So it was a lot more people than I thought would show up, basically. So that was nice. We're doing this real quick, then we're going to end stream. I was wanting to do this today. I'm going to get these guys on bases. I'm going to finish them up this evening, and I'll have 5 more Marines, particularly these Nuncio Voxes. They're really important to me. I'll be done. Cities is interesting. I think City should be a main faction set Stormcast. Yeah, kind of like the Empire in Warhammer Fantasy is kind of like a main faction. Range options should be able to handle meta shifts. Yeah, it's cool. That's kind of the thing about playing Warhammer, especially when you're dealing with like meta stuff, is that as long as you're slowly growing your collection, you're going to be able to like sit with all the changes just fine. You know, you can shift out units and do what you need to do. Next free mini would be 40k. I have no idea. I don't follow the free mini because I don't have a GW close to me that I care to go like grab the free minis, so I've never paid attention to that. It's a good question. I don't know if anybody has opinions on what the free mini will be. Let's get rid of Old Ultramarines and Land Raider. Oh, nice. That's cool. Pop these guys off the bases after this. It's an AOS dwarf. Oh, it's a Chaos Dwarf, isn't it? That makes sense. Within 2 hours, yeah. I have one. It's within about an hour drive of me, but that to me that's not worth it to just get a random mini like that. I do think next week I think we'll do our mini giveaway. We'll do our paint and giveaway thing. So I got to figure out a mini. We'll find something good. It is a Patreon supported item. We use for Metallica. There you go. There's the red recipe green leaf. A little far away. Only go to it for the mini, but maybe some accidental spending habits. Yeah, yeah. See, I'm not going to buy minis from a GW store when I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good local stores that are closer to me that not only sell things at a discount, but they're also independent retailers. So like I can support those stores instead. September one is the okay, the balloon dwarves, and now you say it might be a chaos dwarf. Okay. Do you have to build them in store? Oh, I don't know. That'd be weird. It's for Warhammer and then the GW store. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I have 5 good stores near me. That doesn't include the bad stores. So I have a lot of stores around me. Yours delivers directly to your house. Dang, okay. Just 2 more dudes. Wait, what? Oh, a store manager may have the rule that you had to assemble your minis there. So he can entice you with more product sales. You know, that's why he's doing it. Alright. A little bit of work, a little bit of fun. got bases already painted for these guys to go on. I'll do that work this evening or afternoon, I don't know. Go get a snack or something. You don't just get free bits to kit bash with. Yeah, I know, how horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Dewey brand store closer to any third party. Oh yeah, that's too bad. A third party retailers, it's inconsistent on whether it's going to be good or not, right? It's kind of a toss up, but I would almost always rather support an independent retailer over the company itself. Oh, Space Marine Scout. Yeah, that'd be a good one. I wonder if they'll come out with Heresy Scout minis eventually. Probably not. And getting 2? Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna be real honest, failure. Said there's always Amazon if you don't have an LGS. I would rather support GW than Amazon. Yeah, Amazon does have, you can get stuff discounted, right? So Dark Angel and a Crimson Fist Scout, that's really cool. Yeah, I've had good experience on eBay. I know some people don't, but I've generally, like, I've only ever had one issue, and it wasn't like it was pretty easy. It was stressful, but it was easy to resolve. All right, so I did the varnish on these dudes. Boom, they're varnished. We painted base colors on these guys and got a wash. I did a couple base colors and a little frog jumper thing. So that's in a good spot. We'll continue on with this tomorrow. I bet we'll do highlights on these, and I bet we'll just continue on to this. And then I have Burry Agnerson to paint, whatever his name is. So paint him. So with that, I think we're gonna find someone to raid if that's cool with you guys. Who got online? Someone I haven't. There's someone painting. That's cool. Oh, this person's speaking English. People are typing English in the chat, so I assume that means they're speaking English. I've followed this person before, but I don't remember their stream. We'll try it. We're gonna try to raid out here. Guys, thank you for coming to hang out today. I appreciate all of you guys coming and chatting with me and doing all the crazy stuff, chatting about all the movies and TV shows and miniatures and drama and all that stuff. You guys have a wonderful day. Go say hi. When you raid in on Twitch with this person, go say hi, give them a follow. Just show them some love. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. And we're gonna be painting more Votann. So we'll get into the details and do the fun stuff on these minis. But you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye, YouTube.